The week before closing is not a time to relax. It is a time when the biggest problems show up. So if you're buying a home or even selling a home and your closing's days away, this week can determine whether your closing goes smoothly or not. And ignoring these last few steps could cause delays in the closing, cause you to lose money, even cause the closing day being spent fixing problems that could have been avoided. Hi, I'm attorney Kishore Kapoor, a residential real estate closing attorney here in the state of Connecticut. And every day we share real life stories from real closings so you can learn from my clients' experiences and have a smooth and stress-free closing. So I'm going to tell you two different stories today. I'm going to tell you about a buyer and I'm going to tell you about a seller. We represented Bobby. Bobby was buying his first home. Didn't really listen to his team. Thought he knew everybody. Bobby was a little bit of a know-it-all. Sorry, I got to say how it is. So Bobby put in an offer on a house, beautiful $500,000 house, your typical dream New England house, white picket fence, beautiful yard. He could envision his family growing up there. Everything was perfect, beautiful. Inspection came back with a minor issue. Bobby got a $500 credit. Bobby was happy. Bobby got his mortgage commitment. No issues. The house appraised. Bobby even had a title search that came back with only some unreleased mortgages. Easy fixes, right? One was getting paid off at closing, and one the seller actually had the releases and just didn't know he recorded it. Needed to record it, I should say. Everything was going smoothly. And then the week before closing, Bobby made a major mistake. Bobby went to Raymore and Flanagan and picked out his furniture for his dream house. Beautiful. He picked out a sofa, his dining room table, new bed sets for him and his wife, for his kids, decked out the house. $15,000. Bobby goes, no problem. Opens a credit card. Oh, man. Major mistake. Got approved for 20 grand. Not a big deal. He was able to buy his furniture. But the problem was the day before closing, the lender reran his credit and saw a new credit pull. And unfortunately for Bobby, that furniture could not go into his new house now because he lost his new house. The mortgage got denied because Bobby went and opened a credit card. Now that influenced his debt to income ratio and he no longer qualified for the mortgage. So not only did Bobby lose his dream house and the $15,000 of furniture, Bobby also ended up losing his deposit and has a headache because his wife is extremely pissed off at him. There's nothing we can do at this point, right? So don't buy new things. It made a huge problem for Bobby. Don't be Bobby. Now, the flip side, we had Sally. Sally was selling her house. Everything was perfect, right? The inspection came back. I think there was $1,000 credit. Sally's like, no problem. We'll pay it. We're getting above asking price. We were happy. She listed the house at $450, got $500. Sally was ecstatic. So Sally's buyers applied for their mortgage. The house appraised. Title came back. Again, it was just an open mortgage, which is, easy to fix. Well, the closing got delayed. About a week. The buyer's mortgage company needed more time. Sally's like, no problem. It gives me a little extra time to pack. Sally packed everything up. And I mean everything. Her whole house was packed up. Now, the mistake Sally made was she packed her garage door openers. She had unplugged the refrigerator. I don't know why, but unplugged the refrigerator and took it with her. Now, when Sally was moving, she also put a hole in the wall and didn't realize it. Buyer comes to go do their walkthrough. Buyer says, hey, the refrigerator's missing. Sally goes, oh, that wasn't part of the contract. We reviewed the contract. It wasn't. So Sally was fine there. I don't agree with that, but Sally had the right to take care. I don't think she should have, is my point. Legally, she was able to, though. I just think it's a good gesture to, leave appliances, but all right, or make it very clear. I don't think she clarified it with everybody, but that's a separate issue. We're not going there today. The buyer does their walkthrough. They see when Sally moved out, she put a hole in the wall, and they ask, where are the garage door openers? Well, Sally couldn't tell us where the garage door openers are because she packed them up and forgot. Okay, so we tell the buyers, no problem, we'll get you our garage door openers in about a week. Luckily, the buyers were okay with it. Right. The buyers were really upset about the hole in the wall and the refrigerator. So we spent half the day of Sally's closing, going back and forth and back and forth. Eventually, we agreed to give the buyers a $500 credit. Knowing that the wall repair was only $150, Sally just said she wanted to give something extra now because she didn't want to leave the closing on bad terms. She spent all day going back and forth on this and just got fed up. It happens. It's not necessarily something that's the best option or the best solution, but Sally decided we were going to spend all day, risk her closing not happening, and she needed the money for her next transaction. So if you are buying or selling your house, having the right team in place to help guide you through these issues is key. Be sure to give my office a call if you would like a closing attorney that will help represent you and fight through these issues. So from these two situations, I'm going to give you 5 lessons. Lesson number 1 comes from Bobby. Do not open new credit cards during the closing process. Do not go buy a new car. Do not go even buy the furniture on your existing credit card, right? Don't go and do anything out of the ordinary that you wouldn't be normally spending on a regular basis. And if you are, have a conversation with your team. We will tell you can and cannot do something. We'll guide you through that process. Number 2, this actually doesn't come from Bobby or Sally. This just comes from the closing process experiences we've had. Be sure you respond to your team. If your mortgage broker is asking for a bank statement, get it to them as soon as you can. If your attorney is asking for a social security number or a date of birth or a copy of your license, get it to them as soon as you can. If your realtor is asking you to sign an extension, get it done right away because this helps things keep moving quickly in the process. Now, in Sally's situation, Sally knew what she could and could not take, right? To a degree, she took the garage door opener. That was more of a mistake, not necessarily she taking something to be taking it. But read your contract. It does list what's included and not. And goes through the buyer. Before you go in to do your final walkthrough, look at your contract. Is the dishwasher supposed to stay? Is the stove going to stay? Is the refrigerator staying? Is the extra paint staying or going? These are things you want to know. So when you go into your walkthrough, you can go and say, okay, I need to look at the refrigerators. It's still there? Check. The spare paint that we asked for, is it there? Check. You want to look at those things to make sure that everything you negotiated is staying. And finally, number 5, it's communication, right? Any changes that happen through the closing process, we need to know. Your attorney, your mortgage broker, your realtor, so we can tell the other side. Like Sally, if she had not been told she had an extra week to close, she might have been pissed off when we told her the day before closing, right? It goes both ways. I need to update you. You need to update me. It makes it a lot easier for all of us if we are communicating and are on the same page. And if you have questions, I'm giving you a bonus. And if you have questions, give us a call. Call your team before you end up with an expensive mistake that we can't fix. You don't want to be Bobby, who's lost his dream home, who's lost $15,000, lost a deposit, and has an angry wife. You don't want that situation. So every day we share real life stories from real closings so you can learn from my clients' mistakes and have a smooth and stress-free closing. And based off what you've been watching from our channel recently, YouTube has picked out this video for you to watch next. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, hit the subscribe button.